Let's welcome in Republican Congressman Scott Fitzgerald of Wisconsin. Good morning, Congressman. And before we get to the latest happening out of Washington, D.C., I want to offer you this. I understand your district got hit really hard earlier this week with some tornadoes, maybe in the path of more severe weather today. Can you tell us what's going on, the latest at home?
Yeah, I was in Wisconsin for that first round of storms that came through. Just devastating, not only like some straight line winds that literally took down some buildings, but hail the size of golf balls. It's just been a terrible week. We've been through 2 more rounds since then. So we're praying and we're hoping that this ends all very soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Congressman, I want to get back to Capitol Hill, and we know that President Trump wants reconciliation finished by June 1st. That's his deadline, which may require a skinny bill, only funding for ICE and CBP. Do you think Congress can get it done in time?
Yeah, I mean, I think we conferenced yesterday. The speaker was fairly direct in saying that, listen, we're going to continue to work with the White House. I think the White House is working almost as a liaison between the House and the Senate at this point, trying to arrive at an answer. But it's very much at the front of everyone's mind. It's definitely something we understand needs to get done. And we're very hopeful that we can come to some type of agreement with the Senate very quickly.
So also on the table this week, an extension of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, also known as FISA. And it's a controversial foreign program which allows the U.S. to monitor communications of foreign operatives, but it sometimes sweeps up the communications of everyday Americans. And the president with this, quote, "I have spoken to many generals about this and they consider it vital." House Speaker Mike Johnson backs the president, wants FISA extended for 18 months. But then there are some Republicans that want some serious changes to the program. What do you think about FISA and where things stand right now?
Yeah, I mean, we knew this deadline was coming for some time. So we have a number of members, though, that have been holding out for basically a warrant requirement. Certainly the president has kind of established the idea that he doesn't think that's necessary, especially with an 18-month extension. And but you still have some members that are holding on tight to that concept, to that idea. And we're trying to come up with, I think, with a response that'll be palatable for the entire conference. But FISA is not something that no member was unaware of. It's just certainly one of those items that until you get close to the deadline, it's very hard to get members to articulate to leadership exactly what they think should be included. It's an absolutely necessary tool for intelligence. We had Director Radcliffe in our conference yesterday morning. He laid out all of the different scenarios if this is not completed by Monday. So we may be here over the weekend. I'm not sure, but it absolutely has to get done.
Yeah, and as we both know, nothing motivates Congress more than a deadline.
That is the truth. We know that President Trump has said he also believes the conflict with Iran is, quote, close to over. Officials say gas prices will drop when those negotiations wrap up. Take a listen to this.
I'm optimistic that during the summer we will see gas with a 3 in front of it sooner rather than later. It's Bank Week here in D.C., so I've been meeting with a lot of my Middle Eastern counterparts, the finance ministers, and they all say that once the straits are open, they can start pumping again within 1 week.
Is there any concern that the short-term pain could extend through midterm elections, and how does that change things?
Well, I think the president's comments yesterday saying that he thought we were a couple weeks away is probably a good guideline for where he thinks the negotiations are. I think most of the rank and file members here in the House are hopeful that it can be wrapped up quickly. But I think we also understand the seriousness, and they're definitely pushing. There are some members pushing right now for if we're going to do this, let's do it completely. Let's make sure that we don't leave ourselves in a position where 20 years even down the road, some other administration has to approach this. So it's kind of a mixed bag, I think, if you talk to members of Congress, but we're all obviously very hopeful it can be wrapped up very quickly.